Hey guys, welcome back to Lauren's Reality. As usual, I'm Lauren. Hopefully a lot of you watched really the second video where I was talking about real estate being broken. And I made a lot of very aggressive statements in a very short video. So we wanted to clarify in more detail what I meant by those things. In particular, commissions. No one wants to talk about commissions, right? It's a uncomfortable situation typically for both parties where you as the seller or buyer potentially are wanting to know what your real estate agent is going to make on a deal, or maybe you're working with a lender and you want to know what your lender is going to make on a particular deal. And you may feel uncomfortable asking. You may not know why they're getting paid or what they're getting paid for or what their responsibilities are. The agent themselves, believe me, is on the other end of it, also not really wanting to come across the wrong way. They want to make sure that they're presenting the information in a way that you can understand. In that episode, when I was talking about how agents are motivated by commissions and how that can cause a conflict of interest, we want to make a couple of things clear. All of this is related to you as the consumer doing your due diligence. And for real estate agents that may be watching, this is about you knowing what your worth is and being able to justify your worth. As long as everyone is operating with the same mindset and the agent is operating within the realm of ethics, then everybody wins. It doesn't matter if the agent's making $200 or $20,000. If what they're providing is a quality service and they can explain to you effectively why they charge what they charge, then it's fair compensation, as long as both parties feel comfortable with it. What you should know is that it is negotiable. As a member of the public, you can talk and should talk openly with anyone that you're working with on what their compensation is, and you should ask questions. What are you providing for that particular fee, right? A lot of things that we see in the majority of cases are bad marketing, kind of bad overall representation, people who can't get in touch with their agent. If you're a buyer or a seller out there and you've ever done a few real estate transactions or maybe one real estate transaction before, you may have had a great experience. And there are so many really qualified quality agents who will make sure that you're represented to the fullest, right? They're going to perform within the realms of your agreement the way that they're supposed to. They're going to protect you. They're going to advise you on what's best and not best for you. So they're going to do all of the things that they're supposed to do. And they're true industry professionals. What we're trying to caution you of is to know the person that you're working with and really ask the right questions, because there is a lot of real estate agents. I was actually reading something earlier today that was a study from 2017 that said that there are 2 million, a little over, but roughly 2 million licensed real estate agents in this country, right? It's a lot of people. It also provides a lot of noise. So it's hard to decipher if John Smith or Sally Jones, which one of them is the right one to go with. And you see most of the branding and marketing that you see out there is more associated with the company, right? So you may see signs for Keller Williams or Coldwell Banker or ERA, like these large companies, or you may see signs for smaller companies from a local standpoint. Most people think that you're really going with a brand, right? And whatever that brand can provide. When realistically, it's about the individual, because all real estate agents are independent contractors, which means they can go wherever they want to go. I could be at one company today and next week I could go to a different company. It's my business and I can take it wherever I want it to go, which also means that you have the intrinsic nature of your service level is determined by the person, not because of the company, right? They may have resources available with their company that they can explain to you, but for the most part, you're really talking about what that individual is going to do for you. So how available are they? Are you going to have a hard time getting them on the phone? Are you going to have a hard time getting an appointment or getting in to see a house? What can you expect from the beginning in terms of communication? Because the majority of the real estate transaction process Also going back to one of the first videos where I said from my perspective that residential real estate transactions are emotional. And what I mean by them being emotional is that people are dealing with their home, right? So this is not me like selling a sweater. You're emotionally attached to it, right? That is innately what drives the transaction process. So if you raised all of your children in this home, you have all of these great memories, you and your husband have done 50 different projects across the home, and you've spent all of this time and love and effort and energy. When you sell it, that's an emotional process. Unlike investments or typically commercial property, which is less emotional. There's not a mental or heart attachment to the property, which requires you to work with individuals and agents who understand that and can walk you through a lot of that kind of emotional turmoil that can happen. Most of the time when you're buying or selling a house, you're dealing with some type of major life issue. So you are moving because you got a new job, you are having a baby, you need to downsize, someone unfortunately passed away, you are upgrading your housing, but it's typically something like it's now, like I've got to do this right now. And so there's a lot of pressure on that type of transaction. Really what we want to make people aware of throughout this series is it's all about being equipped with the right information, because regardless of what your agent chooses to charge you, or what you agree, I should say you agree to together for them to charge you, it's not about the amount of money. It's about the intrinsic value and experience that comes with what you pay. So there are things to be aware of in terms of marketing. So you want to ask marketing questions. You see a lot of just really bad photography. If you ever just want to go on Zillow and pull up a few houses, you'll see two pictures that are blurry of like the front of the house and a bathroom, and you're like, what is this? Like, why? Who was thinking that this was a good idea? So you want to know, based on what you're paying, what you're getting in return. Quality professional photos of a property also increase its ability to sell and also attract buyers, right? So you really want to understand everything that comes with the service offering that they're telling you that they're giving you. Don't be afraid to ask like in-depth questions in terms of how is this marketed? What are you doing to attract more clients to it? If you're a buyer, then, ask them about what they suggest in terms of negotiation strategy. You should have all of those things kind of determined in your head. And those great agents that are out there will be equipped with the right knowledge and information to guide you in the right direction. And that is what provides the value. What we want to be afraid of is if you don't do your due diligence and you're working with an agent that you're not aware of their background, their experience, their overall ethics even, then those are the people who get tempted by the fact that, let's say they're getting paid a percentage amount of the sales price. This can incentivize them to not present offers or to hold out to try to get a higher offer, to advise you incorrectly, to show you as a buyer houses that are outside of your true affordability because it could increase their bottom line. So it's all about making sure that you are really looking at who you're working with, that you're digging and finding those great quality agents that are out there, and making sure that you have a really good overall relationship going into the transaction. Those things will make every dime that you spend as a seller and the compensation if you're a buyer that technically really comes from the seller side worth every dime that you spend. But it's all about the quality of the individual. So we're gonna keep bringing things like this up, and we wanna continue to talk in more detail about potential industry shortcomings, but we wanna also make sure that everything is clear. You need to really understand what I mean when I say that things are broken. When something is broken, there are still intrinsically people within the industry that are all doing the right thing. They think about the client, they work with the client. Everything about their business is meant to service the public in the right way. But you also have to be aware that there are not good people. And so what we encourage you to do is continue to dig, continue to search, Keep coming back for more episodes. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications of new episodes. And we will see you next time. Bye.